Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you saw in the title, today I'm going to be talking about the cost of living in Portugal as a student.
I'm broke.
I'm really trying to be consistent on my YouTube channel these days, posting every Thursday, so bear with me. A lot of my videos are like sitting down and talking, but I do want to vlog more. But I just don't have the right equipment as yet to start vlogging. So bear with me, pray for me, but let's get into the video. Studying in Portugal is not for the weak.
I'm broke.
Yeah, I would say you really have to be frugal if you want to survive, especially if you're earning not that much. Like realistically, you'll be earning like minimum wage or maybe even a bit less than that. And let's say you were planning to move to Portugal. You're searching for videos to give you ideas about what's the actual cost of living to live in Portugal. How much should I budget? When I was searching to move to Portugal and looking about that, I felt like online wasn't really that accurate because, you know, Google is different than lived experiences. So I want to put out a video specifically about this. I don't know if you watched my video that I posted like 3 weeks ago about like pros and cons about living in Portugal. I also covered my budget, but that video was really long.
Yes.
That video was like 1 hour, so I don't know if people have attention spans these days to watch a 1 hour sit down and talking video. And I must admit that maybe it was a little boring, but I just wanted to take that information from there and just put it in a more bite-sized video, just in case you just want like quick info about the cost of living to study, the cost to live in Portugal as a student. So let's get to it and all this rambling. So the first thing and the main thing, the elephant in the room, is rent.
I'm broke.
How much should you budget for rent? That's always a big question. For me, I would say 500 euros per month. That was my budget, especially for my last 1.5 years as a student. I budgeted 500 euros per month for my rent. And what does that get you? And first, let me say, I was studying in Lisbon, and in Lisbon that can get you a room including expenses. But these days, it's really quite expensive. There are rooms in Lisbon that's going for 650 euros per month without expenses, 750 euros. I even saw rooms for like 1,000 euros per month. Yeah, let that sink in. And thinking about that in the context, the fact that the minimum wage is like 870 euros per month is just like super unrealistic. So I would say budget roughly 500 to 600 euros a month if you really want to actually find a room in Portugal. And I say room because this concept was new to me, but it's very common in Lisbon or students to share apartment with others. So before moving to Portugal, I didn't share an apartment at all. I'm not saying I'm bougie or anything like that. I'm not poverty. But I lived in a house, so I wasn't used to the sharing. My goal moving to Portugal was actually getting my own 1-bedroom studio apartment. Now that I say this, I feel the sadness coming up in my heart because I didn't accomplish that. But Lisbon prices hit me. Like that dream went out the window really fast. So I would say, as I said, budget at least 500 euros per month. You can find rooms for under 500, but I would say that's the most realistic price. And if you are like, oh, I'm not sharing a room in any apartment with anyone, that's fine. That's fine. Have the money, that's okay. I would say that you should add an additional 1,000 euros on top of that. So that would bring you to like 1,500 euros for a 1-bedroom apartment as a student, which is doable, I would say, in Lisbon, including expenses. So most places that you see renting, especially on websites like Idealista, the prices are without expenses. So I would say you would find apartments like 1-bedroom, maybe even 2 bedrooms, maybe not in the city center, for like 1,100, 1,200. And then when you add expenses to that, you should come under 1,500 euros. Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about the next thing that's as important as where you live. Food. So food, for me, I would say Portugal is not as expensive and things are quite accessible. Coming from Jamaica, things are really expensive. If you want strawberries are crazy expensive in Jamaica. You can watch my video that I vlogged about grocery shopping in Jamaica, and so you can see some of the prices. I would say Jamaica is really expensive when it comes to dairy, when it comes to certain fruits, certain vegetables. So moving to Portugal, for me, I could eat better, I would say, in Portugal compared to Jamaica for a less price. So what I did, and I would say you could budget similarly to what I did, was I budgeted about 40 euros to 50 euros per week on groceries. I mostly spent like 40 euros. I rarely went to 50 euros per week. So that brought me to a total of 160 euros per month. And with that, I cooked almost all of my meals at home. I rarely ate out because I couldn't afford eating out. Also, it's unhealthier. Well, I would say eating out, unless you're going to a fast food place, you can actually find good, relatively healthy food in Portuguese restaurants. So it wasn't even the health part. It was just that I couldn't afford to eat out often, so I opted to cook a lot at home. And what helped me is buying my groceries just one time per week. Ain't no going back to the store during the week because you forget something. So definitely having a list. I always have a list. I would recommend Lidl. Lidl, you can get more for your money in Lidl. For about 1 year in my studies, I shopped a lot at Lidl, and then I moved to a place where there was only like Continent nearby, and I shopped at Continent. I got less for my money, but for me, it was okay because I would have to like go kind of far to the closest Lidl, and I prefer to just walk to a Continent, get my groceries, and walk back home. So the next thing is phone bill. So I budgeted 10 euros per month for my phone bill. I started with this company called WTF because when I moved to Portugal, they were like super easy in their process for me to get like a SIM card. It was very fast, very affordable, so I stuck with them for probably 2 years or 1.5 years. My contract with them expired, and then I moved to this company called Woo, WOO, which I'm currently on now. Right now I pay 10 euros a month, as I said, and I get like 5 gigabytes of data per month with like 1,000 calling minutes. And also I get roaming data, so when you're traveling within the EU, your data works. You could budget 10 euros, but I would say to have a more data, because my data would finish fast. To have like more data, I would say budget like about 15 euros a month for your data plan. The next thing is going out. You move to Portugal, you want to go out, you want to meet people, but can you afford it? That's the question. For me, I budgeted like 20 euros per month to go out, and I'm a Christian. I go to church every Sunday, and so my going out is just like hanging out with friends, going to a restaurant, or going sightseeing, touring, walking. And my friends, thankfully my friends, most of them weren't in like a really high tax bracket, so you know, like they would do things for free, which is nice, like walking. And Lisbon is really awesome for walking.
I'm broke.
So my going out budget was like 20 euros per month, which is kind of low. But I usually budgeted that for like, sometimes on Sundays I would go out with friends after church to a restaurant, trying a new restaurant. So I budgeted that. And restaurants in Portugal is not so expensive, like it's rising more and more, but it's still quite affordable, especially when you go to like local actual Portuguese restaurants. And I felt like my 20 euro budget was super unrealistic, because sometimes I wanted to go out more, but I'm like, oh yeah, no, next week. you know, just because. But I'm just sharing mine with you, and maybe you can be super frugal with going out. And so probably you can budget more, like 50 euros, 60 euros, 70 euros, whatever it is per month in going out. The next thing for me was sports and activities. So for me, I budgeted 25 euros a month for that because I play football. Yes, I'm a professional. No, I'm not a professional, but I play football like as a hobby, I would say, but like a structured hobby because I play on a team. And the cost of like the monthly subscription, you could say, for the club was like or is 25 euros per month. And that included just renting the pitch and coaching from them, and that was my main sport. So I didn't play other things. Like sometimes I try other sports like squash, or what else did I try? Mostly squash. And then I started going to the gym afterwards, which costed me roughly like 35 euros. So I would say you could budget like 25 to 35 euros per month or more, maybe up to 40 euros per month for like sports and activities, especially if you are someone who likes to keep active, likes to, you know, so that's me. That was really important. So the next thing is transportation. What's really cool about Lisbon and Portugal in general is that they have like a monthly transportation card, which is like 40 euros per month for the Lisbon metropolitan area, and it takes you far. Sometimes I use that card to go places and I'm like, is this still a Lisbon metropolitan area? But it takes you quite far. You use it on trains, you can use it on buses, you can use it on the ferry, you can use it now, I'm hearing you can use it with the bicycles. You can use it on trams, so many different things. I think it's a fantastic deal. And in my opinion, this is your only route as a student in terms of affordable transportation. And almost everyone has the car, because when you are paying one way, I think one way with the bus is like 2 euros and with the tram it's like 3 euros. So everything will start to add up. So 40 euros per month, I never usually took Ubers or Bolts unless I'm traveling and then I book like a Bolt from the airport. But usually I just do my 40 euros per month. And as I said, sometimes, rarely, like once or twice per month, I would spend maybe like 10 euros on taxes, but probably not even once a month, like once every 2 months, unless I'm traveling, then I spend more in taxes. And I use Bolt, which is cheaper than Uber, to book my taxes. So yeah, I think a good solid 40 euros per month is a great budget for transportation, with like a wiggle room of like an extra 10 euros for like taxes if you need it. And I feel like the transportation is quite reliable. I'm coming from Jamaica, as you know, and I say a lot in my videos that in Jamaica compared to Portugal, like the transportation is really good. Like I have no complaints about the Portuguese transportation system. I think it's great. It works really well. Even when you have to wait, maybe it adds an additional like 5-10 minutes on waiting time, but for me that is still really awesome. Okay, the next thing that I usually had to budget for was like 40 euros for software. So I'm a photographer as well.
You just got money.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I have to pay for Photoshop each month. I also have to pay for storage with the Apple iCloud and also storage for my Google one. So that comes up to roughly like 40 euros per month. And that's non-negotiable because I need my software, I need the storage. So, and that just comes straight out of my account. So I budget like 40 euros per month. So that's about it. And usually per month, based on this, my total expenses would come up to a little bit under 800 euros per month. So I hope this gave you an idea like how much you can budget for your move to Portugal, like a very realistic idea. And as you can see, like I'm really living dollar to dollar to dollar here. So there isn't much room if I want to like go shopping. Sometimes you need to go shopping, not even to be like a girly girl and go get your stuff as a girl, but sometimes you're gonna need a new shoes, you're gonna need this, you're gonna need that. So I think a nice comfortable budget when you're renting a room in Portugal without the need to live like hand to mouth would be probably like 1,000 euros per month. That's a fair amount, I would say. But if you really don't mind living a little bit more frugal, then like 800 to 850 euros per month is a good budget. But that's also under the circumstances that you're healthy and you don't need medical care. Like Portugal does have a public healthcare system, but when you need like your prescription, you have to fill your prescription. When you may need additional healthcare services, you would need to budget for that. So this is really like a frugal breakdown. So when it comes to like private insurance, that can also be additional expenses. As I said, if you need medical care, that can also be additional expenses. Sometimes universities have insurance which you have to pay. My university had insurance, and thankfully I didn't get really sick. I just had like one circumstance where I needed to fill a prescription, and that came under like 20 euros or something like that. I hope you can get a sense of how much you need to budget. The budget I gave is mostly a little bit stripped down, so you may need to factor in additional things which is more personalized for you. But I just wanted to come on here, just give you my thoughts in case you're planning and you're looking for a YouTube video about cost of living. And I hope this helps. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And see you in other videos. I'm trying to vlog more instead of like sitting and talking to you. My vlogging lens got broken, and I'm trying to get the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So DJI. If you want to sponsor your girl with a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 creator combo kit, please do, because I have like a huge trip coming up and I really want to vlog a lot, because I don't really vlog that much on my channel. So I want to like vlog a lot. So DJI, I'm stepping into your DMs. If you want to sponsor a girl, here's a girl. You know, let's go DJI, let's do it. Okay, please tag DJI in the comments. DJI Osmo Pocket 3 creator combo kit. Let's go. We manifesting in Jesus' name. Bye. See you in another video.